What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. And as you guys can see, today we're going to be taking a look at the Medicom toy or Mafex Avengers Endgame Iron Spider. This is actually their second take on this figure, and hopefully it is going to fix a lot of the issues we had with the first release. I've heard a lot of positive things about this figure, so I'm quite looking forward to it. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging, then we can dive right into the figure itself. Now for the sexy packaging, they went with a white look for the outer coloring. You do have a bit of blue in there. You have Iron Spider right there. He's actually holding the gauntlet. Says Iron Spider in-game version right there. Action figure, Mafex 121, Medicom toy, Avengers in-game. You got the Avengers logo right there. Of course, you have the window packaging where you can see the figure and its accessories. Up top, it just says Avengers in-game. At the bottom, a bunch of legal stuff no one cares about. On the side, you've got a half image of him right here. It says Avengers in-game once again. On this side, you actually have almost a full body shot. His arms cut off just a bit, but it's him actually looking up. As you can see, he's in instant kill mode. And then of course on the back, you do have some poses you can get the figure into, as well as some of the accessories and more legal stuff at the bottom. Now that being said, let's go ahead and bust this guy open so we can take a look at this figure. Now, I do believe this is probably my third time reviewing an Iron Spider figure. I'm pretty sure I reviewed the first one that was released by these guys, and I'm pretty sure I also reviewed the Avengers in-game version from Tamashii Nations. I believe, I don't know, sometimes I forget, but I do have to say, paintwork, it's great. I really love what they did with the reds and the blues. It looks so nice. I have to give it to Mafex. They know how to make really good Spider-Man figures, and as of lately, they're not missing. Honestly, I don't think they've missed out on making a good Spider-Man figure since they released the Andrew Garfield, and who knows how long ago that was. That was probably 4 or 5 years ago, but since then, they have put out great Spider-Man figures, one after another, back to back, and this one is no different. This guy looks dope. Now, one thing I want to say, because I've seen this a lot, people are saying that the eyes on this figure are inaccurate, and they're not. Even though they didn't look like this the whole movie, there was a specific scene where you see his eyes look exactly like this during the battle when they're all fighting Thanos. And so I'll have a screenshot of something like that showing how true that is. But overall, I mean, it's the same thing that we got before with the first release. I don't have that one anymore because my the things that go on the back, they were just getting on my nerves. They didn't break, but once I saw that they were making a 2.0, I already knew that they were going to update it, and so I just sold it, and then I picked up this guy, and I've heard great things, like I said, so I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, as far as the paint goes, it's the same thing we've seen before. Really, the only thing that's changed up, and let me focus, is the eyes. Everything else, I'm pretty sure it's the same. You've got the vibrant reds, the vibrant blues, you've got the golds to kind of mix it up a little bit, and that's pretty much what you get with this guy. He's dope. He really looks nice. And one thing I also want to say is for the first time in a while, I actually did not have to oil the joints between the legs or the arms or anything. So this guy comes straight out of the package perfect, and that's one thing that I'm very, very happy about, because Mafex figures are expensive. You don't want to break these, and so yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, that I'm very happy I did not have to oil the joints. Not that I would mind doing it, but anyway, let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands, and then we'll go ahead and get into everything else. Now, as far as the height on this guy goes, as you can see, he stands just a hair above 5.5 inches, so it's not going to be a problem fitting him in scale with any of your SH Figuarts figures or any other 6-inch figures that you have. And I really think they did a great job making sure that his height does match his age. So good job once again, Medicom Toys. Now, as far as the articulation goes, he looks up that much, which is just absolutely amazing. That is dope. That's perfect. He can look all the way up. He looks down about that much, which is just as good. He can tilt, of course, rotate, all that good stuff, turn the head all the way around. A lot of it comes out of the neck, but also you get a lot out of the joints. So a whole lot of range of movement there. Arms go up and out about that much. Perfect. He does have a butterfly joint, as you guys can see, so he can reach all the way in. He can hug himself. You don't have to worry about that. He does have double jointed elbows, as you guys can see. He also has a bicep swivel. His hands are on the typical hinge. Remember that this is a separate piece right here, so try not to lose that when you pop him off. He does have a diaphragm joint. He goes back about that much. Not too much gappage in there. You can see a little bit, but not as much as most figures. He does crunch forward about that much. You get a little bit more out of the waist, and of course he does rotate as well. At the waist, if you use that to bend him back, he goes back about that much. So you can definitely get him in the spider swinging poses, no problem. His legs actually go out about this much without even using the drop down method. They do have a swivel built in, as you guys can see, but with the drop down method, he kicks forward about that much, not back so much, but yeah, you do have that built in. He does have double jointed knees. Foot goes down. Mine popped off a little easy. Think it was probably loose, but yeah, actually no, when you pull it back too much, it just kind of slides against the rest of the plastic and pops off. So be wary of that. But it goes down about that much, up about that much. Of course, he has ankle rocker, and of course, he has toe hinge. So once again, this is no surprise at this point. Mafex kills it. When it comes to articulation, there's no company beating them. I'm sorry. Now, I was actually going to wait and show these when I got to the accessories, but I mean, technically they are a part of the articulation, so I got to show these off. Before I do, one thing I want to mention though is that these clamp onto the back so well. You pretty much just pop the back piece off and then you clamp these on. But unlike the SH Figure Arts, and I believe even the first release of this figure, they would just kind of pop on and off. But this time they clamp on and you don't have to worry about them falling off. Like, as you guys can see, not me holding it, these are not going anywhere, thankfully. But yeah, anyway, you have a hinge right here so you can bring them all the way out behind him. You have a hinge right here as well so you can bring them out. They feel a little stiff, but they don't feel nearly as fragile as the first one. You can rotate this also so you can bring them forward. As you guys can see, have them kind of hanging over him. You can pretty much move these however you want, and they do pop out. Yes, I did that on purpose. They do pop out, and you can kind of just swivel them around to have them move at your liking, and that's something that I do really like as well. This piece right here probably needs to be heated up because it's not rotating as much as I want it to, and that one I didn't take off on purpose. But yeah, anyway, it's back on there, and it's not going anywhere. You pretty much can bring that forward. With that bend right there, you have a bend right here as well. So that helps with rotation, and then you have a bend at the end. So articulation on these, dope. Like, they did a great job. And it's the same on all of them. Just multiple hinges, as you guys can see, that you can use to rotate these to your liking. And then you can rotate them right here to bring them around if you want to bring them in front of him. They do pop off a little easy, but once again, they don't feel nearly as fragile as the first release. So they upped that. Good job, Mafex. Once again, I cannot complain. So just a side note for you guys, you don't have to worry about this back piece coming off whenever you articulate these things and you're posing them on the figure. But when you are wanting to pose the figure by himself without having these on, make sure that you pop all of these off before you take off this back piece. And the reason I say that is because I had a miniature heart attack trying to pull this piece off right here. 3 of these actually fell off, and I was so sure that I broke them. So whenever you are taking this piece off of him, just pop these off. They come off easily. You don't have to worry about it. And they will stay on once again. They come off quite easy, and so just make sure you do that, because otherwise you're going to risk breaking these, and no one wants to do that. Now for accessories, thankfully you don't get as many as other Spider-Man figures, otherwise we'd be here all day, but you still get the necessary amount. First off, he comes in the package with this default head sculpt on where the eyes are like this laser-like blue. I dig it. I do like the other look better, but I can work with this. He comes with a pair of relaxed hands. He does come with a pair of web hands. Of course, every Spider-Man will. He comes with a pair of fist hands. He comes with a pair of wall crawling or reaching hands, whatever you want to use them for. He also comes with a pair of hands to hold on to swinging webs. He comes with 2 different head sculpts. You get that one, like I said right there, but you also get this one where his eyes are squinted, and then you also get the instant kill mode. So that's dope. You still get options with this guy. You get a pair of wall crawling hands with metal in them, as you guys can see. I said metal, I meant magnets, but yeah, you get magnets in those, and then you also get the magnetized feet as well, which we've seen before. And as far as the web goes, you get 2 of each of what I'm about to show you. So you get 2 of this longer shooting webs, and these do just wrap around the wrist, as you guys can see, and they hold up. Mine is warped, and so is my other one, but you get a shorter web, as you guys can see, and then you get 2 of these as well. These are for going in his hand. As you guys can see, this is what he uses to swing. You just pop that in there. It didn't want to go, but yeah, you get the point. And then lastly, you get the Infinity Gauntlet, which this is the version that was created by Iron Man. Obviously, you can tell by the red, and I did hear some people say that this was inaccurate. It's actually not. People were saying that it's too small, but if you remember in the movie Endgame, there was multiple people who wore this. Thanos wore this, Hulk wore it, and then Iron Man also wore it. It's adjustable, so whoever wears it. And so the fact that it's smaller doesn't really mean that it's inaccurate. But I do prefer the SH Figuarts version better, simply because I like the red that they use. This one has more of a cartoony look to it. It's all textured and designed and up. It looks pretty dope, but also the SH Figuarts had articulated fingers. This one just is like this. But as you guys can see, the Infinity Stones are in there. Let me move my light a little bit. But yeah, the Infinity Stones are in there, all painted differently, all looking nice. Once again, I just do prefer the SH Figuarts version better or more, but not because of accuracy, because this is accurate. Now for some size comparisons, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts Infinity War Thanos, the SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame Final Battle Edition Iron Man, and the SH Figuarts Endgame Cap vs. Cap Captain America. Next up, here he is standing next to the Mafex or Medicom Toys Spider-Man Homecoming. This is the 1.0 version. We do also have the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Peter B. Parker, which is my favorite of all the Spider-Man figures they have released. And then, of course, we do have the classic look from Medicom as well. This is the first release, not the 2.0 with the crazy colors, but all of these look really good together, and I just love what Mafex is doing with Spider-Man figures. I love these so much. And lastly, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Mysterio. This is actually from Spider-Man Far From Home. We do have the Retro Wave Amazing Spider-Man, and then of course the movie version of Venom. All of these, once again, look really good together. I do feel like Spider-Man should be a little bit bigger compared to the Mysterio, but at the same time, 2 completely different lines. Now, for my final thoughts on this guy, I have to be honest with you. If you already have a definitive Iron Spider figure, be it the first release that Medicom did of this guy, the SH Figuarts, or even if you have some Marvel Legends that I don't know about, that should suffice as long as you're satisfied with what you have. This isn't necessarily a Spider-Man figure that you have to add to your collection. Yes, they did do some things differently. They changed the paint on the eyes. They upped the quality a little bit. They definitely upped the quality on the spider legs. I forget what they're called. And then they threw in an Infinity Gauntlet. Maybe the paint is a little bit different, but to me, not to the point to where it's very noticeable. So I don't see any reason to have this guy unless you're just not satisfied with any of the releases that you've already had. For me, the first release, I was scared to break the legs. The SH Figuarts, it just got to the point to where the arms kept popping off of the back, and it was frustrating me. I couldn't take photos of them without them just falling all over the place. And just setting up was so frustrating. But I feel like this figure is going to do everything I want it to do. So I'm pretty happy about it. It's a great purchase, but for 90 bucks, it's not something that everyone has to have. It's a good figure. It's not great. There's nothing spectacular about it, simply because it's the same thing we've already seen before. But that being said, this is one where you guys can pretty much make your own decision on. It's a good Spider-Man figure, so that one's up to you. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I do hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Peace.